Alright, we're back. This is going to be the final pre-release sealed with the guild theme. I'm doing Dimir, and I have doubts about Dimir. I'll tell you that much. Like, the cipher mechanic here, where you play the spell and then you get to replay the spell whenever a certain creature hits your opponent. It's just so, like, I don't know. Like, it could be good, if you obviously need evasive creatures like these guys. But, like, the spells themselves are a little. I mean, obviously they're going to be overcosted because they're going to be replayed constantly. But, like, that one's decent, that one's decent. But so many of them are just, like. What am I looking for? That one's okay. But some of them are just situational. Like, Void Walk. Exiling the creature, there are a lot of uses for that, kind of. If you have a comes into play effect, which there are very few of in this set, you can do that over and over. But mostly you're going to be doing it to your opponent to get rid of +1/+1 counters for Simic or enchantments, or if they're playing Dimir too, you can get rid of their Cipher on it. And that's, and then discard, like, you know, they're going to run out of cards pretty quickly. So, I will say there's also a milling theme to this in the Guild Mage to try and get people, just attack their library, and that always interests me. It doesn't always, it rarely works, but it interests me. And this is the pre-release card. We're going to get that guaranteed, and that is pretty good. Like, this card is just ridiculous. As long as they've got like some cards in the graveyard, and it doesn't die immediately, like this thing can just get, up to like 16/16 real quick. It doesn't have trample, and it doesn't even have to attack to win, because you can just keep doing the so-called grind effect, where they mill until they hit a land. So we're gonna give this a shot. I have my doubts, but we'll try and make the best of it. Okay, so this is what we opened. Wow, that's a lot of gold cards. Just take a quick look at the land. We have a Dimir Guild Gate, which seems to be almost automatic. You'll get a Guild Gate of the color you're in, or the clan you're in. Guild you're in, sorry. And then the other Guild Gates are not helpful for us. So, there's that. I don't like this guy, but we might have to play him as another evasive creature. And just going to take a look. Red is the hardest. Well, everything's going to be hard for us to splash. We do have a Prophetic Prism, so that helps. I don't think there's anything so good that we have to. Yeah. I'm starting to like this guy more than I initially did. Like, just a 3/5 for 5 is fine, and then when he attacks, he basically attacks with friends. He basically becomes a 4/6 vigilance guy, which is really good. So anyway, this card is the bomb. We can actually cast it. Alright, so I'm just going to start throwing in things. This is not good in our deck. This is okay in Simic. I'm going to put that to the side because I know I'm only going to be running one gate. Yeah. And might need that as defense. That's. I don't think you can run two of those main deck. Sprite's good. I think we just need a 1/3 blocker. His ability is really annoying because Cipher spells, when they're played off the Cipher ability, do count as a second spell. But of course you can't do that until after combat. So I don't know. I think you just need a 1/3 blocker. Sky Games. Not a big fan of that. Alright, so removal. Bomb Primordial. Yes. Shadow Slice. Kill them. We'll go with it. 3/4. Some ability. I don't know. See, that's the problem, is this Cypher. We do need a creature in the bin for this to work, which probably won't be that hard to do. But, and then Mental Vapors, discard. So this is, I want to see if I can get the grind thing to work, to just get rid of their, yeah, to just mill them to death. So let's put them in there. More removal. Extort, I think, is pretty good in Simic. So that, he might be good enough that we can do an ugly splash. Oh, Mystic Genesis. That's really good. Potentially. Very good. Also Urban Evolution. Simic Charm. We might have to splash green. Yeah, I should really look at the gold cards for my splash more so than the other ones. And we could run a pit fight if we did a splash of green. Not sure that we'd want to, given that a lot of our guys are going to be tiny. But just setting that aside. So we're definitely running the Death Cult Rogue. That's good. That's awesome. Whispering Madness is a strange one, because it seems to equalize the number of cards people have in hand, even though it seems like Dimir will probably have the most cards in hand. Like, they'll definitely have more than Boros. They'll probably have more than than Gruul or in Semic. Orzhov might have more cards in hand in general, but it's actually kind of like a disguised way of milling them. So I'm going to put that in and counter. That's really good. The Charm's good. So we'll take a look at this. It's unfortunate because I think yeah, there's nothing I did in here. Like, I got all these evasive guys here and here, him too, but like for my Cypher spells I've got that and that, and I had one more, didn't I? Was that it? Was that it? I just have 2 Cypher spells. I don't even have any creature enchantments I can put on them. I guess that seems to be the case. Oh, sorry, I got Stolen Identity, which is awesome. Like, I could run Mental Vapors or something. Vanilla Gargoyle is also an option. I'm just going to put them in there just so I'll probably cut them, but who knows. Oh, Shadow Alley Denizen is also something that works in this to help give evasion, but I don't think, like, we just don't have enough stuff that that really makes it interesting. Like Whispering Madness is See, this is going to mill both of us for the number of cards that we have in hand. It's also going to allow them to draw their best stuff. But yeah, I mean, we could cast that. Like if we cast that on turn 4 and had 5 cards left in hand and had a Death Cult Rogue left, we would basically just cycle through 10 cards for both of us, which would put them down to like an 18 card library or something like that. And then we can kind of finish them off. I just don't think we can even run that because we don't have enough mill, right? There's nothing else that does any milling. I put everything that could do milling in there, and we got like him and there's one more, yeah, him, and of course the pre-release card, which is awesome. And Killing Bear. Okay. So, well, our cipher, we're just going to cut that because it does actually let you cycle through your deck to find answers, but or find cards, but it lets them do it, and it balances out the number of cards we have in hand. So we're probably gonna have more than them. You know, like Boros is just gonna empty out with. God, look how good Boros is. You got that 2-drop. You got that 2-drop. You got that 2-drop. I don't have any of it, but there's the 3/1 2-drop. They just got 2-drops up the wazoo. Anyway, alright, so since we're not ciphering much, like I could put in a Midnight Recovery or a Mental Vapors. Like, let me see. Yeah, like I could kind of mill myself with these guys. To do that, but it's, you know, once again, I feel like I'm pretty disappointed in the pool I opened. So this guy's just awkward. He's just so awkward. I can't believe I don't like a 3-power unblockable guy. With it doesn't seem like the worst drawback, but it is. It is. So let's see. What is this guy? So we got that cipher and that cipher. Those are the only ciphers I have. I really would like to have the draw a card cipher. I think that might be one of the best. Clean enemies. Yeah, we're not going to do that. So our plan is just to like hang around and survive and eventually win with these big nasty guys. This is just a 5/4 Intimidator with it does have to be an opponent, but you get to pick the best creature in their bin and just gank it. I'm not going to run that. And so I'm just trying to figure out, like, this is a pretty good splash. It's like this can be just really nasty to people. Urban Evolution, draw 3 cards. You had me at hello. And Simic Charm is extremely flexible. Like you can to unsummon a giant growth or counter basically counter target removal spell. So maybe we want to do that, and it's really sad we didn't get a Simic Guild Gate. But what you gonna do? There's nothing else in green I would run, right? Predator's Report, or no, not doing that. Yeah, there's nothing that would be worth splashing for. Trying to see. So I'm just going to add this in and take a look at their curve. That makes us heavy on the 5 drops. Really wish we could get more of these guys. The extortion's great. So, assuming I did this, what am I cutting for it? Actually, like before, without it, oops, without those 3 cards, I'm probably going to add a Prophetic Prism to just help me draw more stuff. I don't know. Let me put that there. I like this Prophetic Prism. The color fixing is good. Yeah, so if I'm earning that splash, I'm adding the Prophetic Prism for sure. I think I might be an 18 card, or sorry, 18 land deck, because with the splash, I'm definitely an 18 land deck, so I need to make 4 cuts, which would be Undercity Informer. Let me put them over there, and at least one of those guys. Like, I don't like this guy, but I need a blocker early on. I want to keep all the Death Cult rogues. They're just good. This guy we could cut maybe, and we could cut that guy. Shadow Slice, I guess we can keep. So that would be the deck. And then we'd run, let's see. That makes me super creature light, which is kind of okay. Yeah, it's not really okay, but I feel a little bit bad because we only have 1, 2. We have 3 removal spells, which I'd like to be up to at least 5. Do have a counter spell, so that kind of works as a removal, pre-removal. This is a difficult deck build. So let me just check the stats. See, I don't know what is going on with them, but there is no way I have any. Well, okay. How do I have 6 white mana on my stuff? I have 1 extort, right? In the deck, yeah, I have 1 extort trigger. So I'm just going to assume the other stuff is right anyway. So I'm, oops, piles by color. So I'm heavier black than blue, but not by much. And, well, I was going to say my best spell, but he might be the best spell. But we can have a lot of them in, actually. Yeah. So my best spell is double blue, but So it's basically balanced. So if I add land, what does it suggest? Suggest that. Alright. So we are going to run the guild gate, and we can cut an island for that. I guess we might even cut a swamp for another forest to help this splash out. I really feel like I don't want... not having a guild gate really sucks, but I feel like we need these cards to make it work. Although cutting creatures for spells, it's not great, but normally I like to run a lot more creatures in this. Like even in this type of deck, we're not going to be running 18 creatures. I'd like to have at least 12. So let's take a look at the mana curve. Like a 2/3 flyer for 4. I'm thinking about cutting the Simic Charm. And I guess this is actually mill 2. Alright, so we're running out of time. So I'm thinking about cutting the Simic Charm and a forest for a swamp and this guy. Alright, let's just do that real quick. Alright, we'll see you on the next round.